Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm Chipmunk. With me as always, the Mr. Gimpy.
What's up, Chip? How's it going, brother?
What's happening, D?
Nothing much, man. I had to throw on the Fatal Fury hat today because I've been looking forward to the next Fatal Fury game coming out. So I gotta get the hype machine going for myself. I missed out on the beta that they had, and I was looking at videos last night before I went to bed, and I'm super hyped for it. So I hope the game's good. Probably see myself playing a little King of Fighters today. Maybe jump online, get my ass whooped after this. Man. See how it goes.
That's what's up. I thought you were just covering up your hair because you're looking like a nappy-headed hoe.
Nah, that too, but I need to get the haircut. But nah, it's the Fatal Fury for sure.
Definitely Fatal Fury.
The hair's been shown for a while. I need a haircut. Brother.
All right, yeah. That's fair enough, dude.
That might happen today too. I might go. My problem is, so my sister cuts hair, after a while she's just become my go-to, but she's like 8 months pregnant. So she doesn't feel like moving or doing anything.
Yeah, she's like
so I've been suffering, and having family members cutting your hair, right, just gets to the point where it's so convenient that you get lazy. So I haven't taken the time to like look into a barber or anything, and I've been doing that. I've been doing my due diligence, so I'm going to try out. It's
always a risk too, man. You're rolling the dice a little bit. You gotta be like, all right, what's this person about? What are they on?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'll try this dude out. It's spring outside. It's hot as hell. Getting hot as hell out there. I need to get the summer dew. So we'll see. I'll get faded up.
What's up, man? Got Fatal Fury coming. New fresh cuts, dude.
Like, yeah, man.
Getting clean, dude. I ordered some shoes, dude. Some summer shoes, dude.
Oh yeah, I need to. I got a couple of shoes that I bought last year that I never got a chance to wear because I bought them real late in the season. So I'm gonna use those. I always have like shoes that I wear out to, look look put together, but in a casual sense. And then there's like disc golf shoes where I don't care if they get dirty and whatnot.
You're around town shoes, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Living it up.
But I got a couple of. There's like some new Nikes that Nike Air Maxes that I grabbed that I think I'm gonna rotate them. Yeah, no,
you're doing no shout out for free, dude. Tell them to pay us, dude.
That's true. But yeah, man, just chilling, getting the game dev done. And
been playing any games, dude? I saw you showed me about some sort of new monitor for travels.
I did. So as I've said on this podcast before, I have to travel for work at times, and hotels have started to lock down their TVs. At least the ones I've been staying at. It's been annoying. So usually, even if the hotel is like pretty locked down, you could just unplug the stuff out of the back and just plug in your HDMI after turning the TV off, and it's fine. The last two hotels that I've stayed at, if I unplugged the HDMI, the whole TV just stopped working. Like you had to call the front desk and have somebody come up and like reset everything, and even like it's. And then there's a like code on the TV that pops up for them to enter in. At least on the last hotel I was at.
You tell me I'm trying to play the Steam Deck, dude. Like hook.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to just hook the Steam Deck up to the TV.
Yeah, so, what they say, where they're like, "Whoa, it's highly irregular."
Exactly, and I've been to the point where I've had the X-Real Air glasses just chilling there, and those have worked great. No knock against that, but I've had coworkers who are also traveling with me who saw that I have video games, right? They're like, "Oh, hey, let's play something," and you can't like share the screen with the glasses or like have the little tiny Steam Deck screen, And then if the TV's not working, like in the last two hotels, it's like, well, I guess we can switch off and play and take turns. But so I bought a portable monitor. And it's about a 15.6 inch 1080p 60 frame monitor, so nothing that's gonna impress the masses, but it does what it needs to. It has built-in speakers, it works, and I'm good. Yeah.
Have you thought about pulling a scam, dude, on your business, dude, and getting like a mini throw projector? Be like, oh, we need this for meetings and whatnot, but the meetings like you boys all playing Smash Bros. And the
that's not bad. See, the portable monitor I spent.
One, dude.
Yeah. The more portable monitor I spent $60 on. Those, even like the short throw projectors, I'm looking at close to $200.
That's what I'm saying. If you could get as like a business expense or get the company to pay for it, they'd be like, oh, wow, we might need this for get all on the same page or
Actually,
whatever.
you know, I do presentations, and
Yeah, man,
oftentimes
that's what I'm saying,
we
dude.
need like the potential client to have stuff already set up, and then we just do it. Having a
Yeah.
short throw projector might be the play. You're a bright dude. I
Man,
might make that play. Just do like a Pico projector and just throw it up on the
you
wall.
know,
Yeah,
say is no, dude. Like you have business need for it, and you know,
that's
it
true.
helps with the team building, everything else, dude.
That's true. That's true. Not a bad
That's all I'm
idea.
saying, dude. I'm
But
just
yeah,
throwing that out there, dude. I'm helping
short. You know,
people out here.
portable monitor. You know, we can play like fighting games or like co-op beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
And stuff while we're in the hotel just chilling. A lot of times we'll go out and go eat or go do something around town
Yeah.
on our off times, which is cool. But sometimes, like one time, it was raining just ridiculous outside,
Yeah.
like dangerous conditions
Storm,
outside.
dude.
So
I think
we
we
just
talked
stayed in
about
the
once
hotel.
on this pod, dude.
Yeah, where I almost died.
Is that-
Yeah,
Is that the
exactly.
pod with the thumbnail of like the storm of death coming
Yeah,
in behind you?
But it's
running?
lightning that struck like 50 feet away from us. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
dude.
was crazy. But
Classic,
yeah,
dude.
man,
Lore
you know.
building on this pod, dude.
Exactly.
All right,
But
man. So you got the mini. What games you been playing on it, dude? Anything you tried out?
yeah, I tried it out. I played Burnout Paradise for probably about an
Oh.
hour or two on it. Works
Yeah,
great,
man.
you know. And I figured it was like a faster paced game just to make sure there's no like lag or jitters or anything like that. It worked great.
Speaking of the lore building, dude, you were talking about racing sims last time. Did you
Yes,
get into
sir.
any
Yes,
of that,
sir.
dude? What?
As I said last week, man, I jumped in to Assetto Corsa after the pod last week. Getting my license basically all over again, learning how
Yeah.
to so slow is fast, smooth is fast, you know. So I'm just
Yeah.
letting the game come to me, and I'm learning it. I'm getting some mods for it, and Assetto Corsa is a beast of a game, man. Like how many mods are supported, but it's so popular, and I haven't jumped online yet, but just cruising through forums and stuff. It's been a fun learning experience. My main goal is to learn to drive using the wheel in Assetto Corsa to start doing nohesi.gg servers. Just it's like traffic cutting. So if you remember Outrun 2, they had one of the mini games was cut the line. Like your girlfriend was like, hey, there's a line in traffic, you just got to weave through.
Yeah. Thread the
One of my
needle.
favorite mini games ever. I still like you'll see me just jump on like Xbox and play Outrun 2 just to do that. So you know, I've always loved that. So then having like a sim game do something like that where you're getting points for weaving in and out of traffic is just right up my alley. So you know, I'm learning it. I'm going to be playing a lot of no hesi. So that's the plan.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man. How about yourself, man? Any games you're doing or any?
No. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Hearthstone.
No.
Again.
All right.
I played some with the crab the other day. Aside from that, I don't really think I've booted up any other games, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly just hard. I want to say there was something else I was playing, but can't think of it off the top of that. I didn't know that we'd be doing this pod every week, dude. This is crazy. Like, should have wrote something down.
Right.
But yeah, no, just that. I've been mostly still messing around with micro quad, playing
It's macro quad.
Yeah. I got
I was looking up micro quad for a while and it kept saying macro and I'm like, oh, did this dude just misspeak?
maybe. There's macro and micro or whatever. They got 2-1. There's like a sub version of it that's even lower, dude.
Okay.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Macro, micro.
Yeah, so let's
quad,
jump
dude.
let's jump into it a little bit, man. So you made you've ported some projects that you've had in the past to Rust, and now you have created like a short visual novel in Rust as well.
Did we talk about that last time?
We talked about your struggles with it. And
you know what? I made that after that pod. It was like that night. Yeah, I was like, all right, let me cook this up.
Yeah. So what was your
man.
experience with it? Do you like it more? Do you wish it had like features that aren't just low level stuff, like you have to make everything yourself, or what's
the
your
biggest
experience?
problems I'm running into right now are like the quality of life things that add that little zhuzh to the game, the little the you know, whatever it is, you know, juice, some people call it, little, you know, this just things like lights, shadows,
The squeeze of the orange, the zest,
those like shakes and stuff. So a lot of that stuff, I was like trying to look in on like how you could get that up and running in there, and there's no easy way to do that. So that really sucks. It's really boilerplate, dude. Like if you just want like a no fluff or muss, like if you're trying to make like a NES or SNES or an Atari style game, like it's probably great for that. And like, yeah, I've been messing around with that. I made a little bit of like a visual novel demo. Worked a little bit more on a project that I had going for a while, of like that node-based visual novel maker, like exports like a JSON file.
Yes.
Just happy about the progress I made there. There's still some like small technical bug issues with it that I can't figure out how to fix. Like some of the node points are like rendering behind the node, but you can still connect it. So I'm like, this is kind of fine, but also really annoying. So like,
Something to fix in the future, but it works enough.
It's like it works, but like it's scuffed a little bit. It's got a little jank to it. So I don't know. So I like left that there where I was like, all right, you know what? It works. Just set this down. It's fine. Don't break it more. It's fine. So I got that done. And then I don't know, I shared that with everybody. I started working on porting over a little JS project I had with the platformer controller. I got that working. I use like eGUI, like EGUI, and then like regex. That's for like saving things directly to your file system, so you can like make changes and then like save changes to your source code. Because there's no editor or anything built inside to kind of build like a weird, shitty workaround. I was happy with how that came out. I got everything working. I had some issues with like gravity and stuff, as you often do. But then I just like looked at what they were doing with their platformer example, and then I kind of reverse engineered like a thing where I just put like, it's like times 200 per second on the guy or whatever. So, because before it was like jumping, but like a centimeter off the ground, not even. He was like floating, kind of like he had like moon physics, and
Sure.
And I got that work. I got feeling pretty good. I sent the professor that platformer control because he was talking about making some sort of endless platformer Mega Man style game, and I was like, all right, yeah, here you go. He didn't really ask for it, and they like asked him if he wanted to see it even before I sent it, because I was like, yeah, I'm not just gonna send random files to people. I was happy with that, man. It was a lot of work. Most of my week was just working on that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I started working on kind of like a new random game, like we talked about before, like just a simple thing to get your beak wet. So I made like a Tiger Electronic style game where you just like move left and right and like pick up stuff.
Yeah.
And that
I'm
came
a
really good.
big fan of making just small bite-sized projects sometimes you need the creative juices flowing and you need to see something like complete. Right. So just to go, yep, here, knocked one out. The game dev is not just endless void. You can complete stuff. I do the same thing. So I'm happy you did that. How'd the Game & Watch style game go?
All right. So here's the crossroad I'm at with it. Right.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing this in Rust?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is all
nice.
Micro crab or quad. The crustaceans. I got that up and running. The crossroads I'm at is like, do I expand upon it? Like, do I keep going? Because like in my head, I'm like, all right, I could do like a Ninja Gaiden style, like NES, like little cutscenes in between each stage. But it's like, it's the same game over and over again, but with like a little story behind it. Do I even bother doing that? Because there's no support for like, I was like, I could just make some like quick video in like DaVinci with like, some quick pan zooms or whatever on like some, sprites. I don't know, man. But then it doesn't support that. So then I was like looking for another solution. I was like, oh, maybe I can use like a GIF and like use that and render that, because I think you can like backwards in like through another. Right? Yeah. You can do some sort of bullshit to get it working. So I was like, all right, do I keep going with that? Do I just call it where it is, dude? What do you think, man?
I think is the gameplay done?
Yeah. The core gameplay loop is like a single screen Game & Watch style game. It works. Has some music that just kind of loops. There's a game over. You can hit R to reset and all that. Okay. What I would do from there is
there a win condition, or does it go infinite?
It just goes infinitely right now. Right?
Is there anything that like ramps up the difficulty on the infinite cycle, or is it just infinite until
things
it's done?
get like faster, like for spawning stuff? Like,
is there a upper limit?
Probably just speed, like at a certain point, like it's just going to probably get fast. So
Okay. You're done then, right? So this is the game. So all right.
So here's like the way to expand it. All right. So it's kind of like, this is kind of like the crossroads I feel like a lot of hobby game or even full game does make, where you make like a proof of concept, your MVP, and then like you get that branch decision. All right. So the branch would be like, do I continue further, which would be adding little cutscenes between stages, adding a stage select, adding a start screen, and then using something I was thinking about like Stepmania, which is, like Dance Dance Revolution, but they have like a open source version of that, Stepmania.
Open Fox.
So you can take, so I can take songs from that. So I can take like the background music, have that output into like their format. There's a JSON converter for that. So I could read those files. So then like it's spawning things based on like the beats of the song.
Okay.
So because like right now it even feels a little bit like a rhythm game. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I could have like different songs for different stages where it's like actually spawning things. And then I could have like a difficulty selector too based on that from the start screen.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, just making it a rhythm game and then having different songs being the thing, and then so that way you don't have to have an upper limit. You can have a story based on songs, right? So like have 10 songs or 5 songs, however long you want, and then just have like a custom thing.
Yeah, I quickly wrote it out real quick.
Awesome. Did you use your ninja sprite that you sent me the other day?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see. I got 6 stages. It's kind of what I wrote out.
Sweet.
And then like an ending scene, like when you beat the thing.
Yeah, nice, man.
So awesome. I don't know if it's worth even going that far with it though. So
I know. Here's the $1 million question, and I think that every hobby game dev, every indie game dev who's working on a smaller project, when deciding if you should continue it, is it still fun? Working on this, is it still fun?
I was having fun playing it, working on it. It's a pain in the like Rust is a pain in the ass. Like it's constantly, which is kind of fun because like it's in between that thing where it's like hitting your head against like a boulder, but like you're like knocking chunks off of it, so you're getting a little bit better at it. So there's like some satisfaction in that. But then there's also like, do I just take this and go to like a tool I know and then have all the bells and whistles that I'd want?
I'll say this. The skills you learn from adding this, will you use them in the future? Like this exact thing, like cutscenes. Do you have a plan for a cutscene and anything else? Do you have a plan for importing music or a JSON file, or do you have anything related to that for this, like in the future that you can see?
No, but every game tends to have that's kind of like every game has cutscenes that have music, so it's like not bad skill sets to pick up. But like it's also I know kind of vaguely how to do it.
Not sweet. And then doing it to the beat, so you're having like a metronome or something in the background or something like a beat per minute or detector,
and then it's like reading through and it's like all zeros. So it's like 1 0 0, and then so it's like a left beat then a right beat. It's just putting ones in different places. It's like a primitive binary. It's like because I've looked at like how it outputs the form. So
that sounds like a neat project. I'd say for you, man, because I know how you like to jump from project to project. Set a timeline for when you want this to be done by. 2 weeks time, a month time, or something. Just go, hey, this is what I lay out. This is what I want to do, and like, so animating cutscenes takes. I mean, I guess depends on what detailed and whatnot you want to do for that. Takes a long time, and I know you're an artist too, so maybe you like the process, but I know working on in animation for a while becomes mind numbing after a while too.
That's every project. There's going to be those mind numbing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the fun crossroad, right? This is like the shiny new object syndrome that everyone kind of struggles with, where it's like, all right, I got my shiny new object, I got it up and running, it's fun to play, and then it's like, do I like go through like the tedious part now? Do I get into the grind? Is it worth pursuing and doing all that boring stuff?
I'd say, man, it's been a while since we've had a full game from you on your itch.
Yeah, it's
the last one was like we've had vibes. We haven't had a dicey dungeon clone in a while. I think that may have been the last full game you've done, right?
Yeah, and that was like a year or two ago now.
Yeah, man, it might be time. It might be time.
Hey,
just as a friend.
Hey, what about you, man? You've been working on, I think. Well, or then the last question is, do I pursue it?
Yeah, do you pursue
Rust, or do I go Unity? Like a tool I'm really good with, and I could, reduce the time. I wouldn't have to do all this bullshit on the back end with like converting Stepmania files and videos to GIFs.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how close you are to the finish line, and if you want to. If you're getting it to work as you envision it, it's like where is the roadblock, and could you overcome the roadblock by porting it to Unity? I think since
easily, like all the skill, like again, it's such a simple premise in game.
Yeah.
Like it would probably take me half an hour at most to get it up and running in Unity exactly where it is right now.
I'd say finish it in Rust, because you and the professor wanted to do a project using Rust, so maybe that'll give you, because then you're always in a competition with him, right?
Are
Does
we?
that every pod you're like, oh man, like
Yeah, but like I always just assume he's just gonna betray. I feel like he doesn't have the discipline to go through those rough patches. He hasn't made not one game that
but
has
do you
anything,
have
even like a
the leg
MVP.
up on him though if you complete a project in Rust before he
I mean, that
does?
was I feel like the visual novel one, right? I feel like that was like a dunk, dude. That was like a like
so,
that was like the
like a pettiness, 2 projects would be done.
I was worried that it was such a hard clap that he's like shattered his confidence completely, dude. Like that was like it was a combo breaker into like an ultimate, dude. There's nothing you could do at this point, dude.
All right, Professor. The gauntlet's been laid. The chicken bone's been thrown down, brother.
Yeah, dude. And then like I asked him, because we've been talking about like working on something. I was like, oh yeah, man, like what project do you want to work on? And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna make this random platformer for, based on some music. And I'm like, do you want help on that? What can I do with that? Like, do you need me on that? He's like, no, I'll let you know though if I do. And I was like, all right.
Are we gonna mess around and get a game done before with you and I before the professor? You and the professor?
Oh, definitely. I always told you this is like the superhero team up, bro. Like we're the only 2 people really committed to this. We're doing a podcast for years now.
That's
like,
true.
We're talking about like nobody else got this commitment, bro. Like nobody else is showing up, dude.
That's
like,
true.
Again, like most of this game dev is boring stuff. Most of it is slogging through long periods of time of downtime of having nothing to show or being stuck with like NDAs and like not being able to talk about it or talking to people who don't really understand the process and they just go, oh, that's nice. And at the end of it, like you show them your thing and they like, look at it, maybe play it for a little bit and then they're like, oh, nice, man, good for you. And then they like, that's it.
Yeah. Can I tell you my most hated thing when showing someone who doesn't do game dev for a project that I consider complete?
Yeah.
You should add this.
Yeah.
Every time someone says that, I want to slap him in the back of the head.
Why don't you just do this, dude?
And I'm like, no, it's done. I could have, but no. I've gotten better, but when I was younger and showing things, I didn't really complete projects when I was younger either. Yeah. But just showing things like, oh, could you do this instead, or can you just, oh, you should have a boss here. Yeah. Screw you. That takes a long time to do. I don't want to do that. This is done. So. That's hobbyist versus trying to sell it though, right?
Yeah.
Real quick for me, man. I've been slogging away at my newest prototype that I do plan on showcasing here, and day job has been I've been working pretty hard on that, but I'm at a point, and I think I told you on the pod last week, I'm at a point now where I'm good for the next few months.
Oh, nice.
So my dedicated to coding time is going towards game dev now, so I'm excited about that.
Keeping it sharp. You're still messing around in was it Game Maker?
Yep. Still doing Game Maker.
You're excited about those new features, right? Like
yes,
new layers coming.
Yes, I am. We got the new GUI layer, so you can just visualize your UI. And that's such a needed change to Game Maker that it should have happened 10 years ago, but really excited about that. I did post that on our X account that I'm excited for it. So
nice. Did you post the game I made in Rust on there?
I'll post that this week. Yeah. So
I threw it in the Discord for the people who work on it. That's the one thing I enjoy about like these like weirder, smaller niche like framework.
People are excited for small projects.
Yeah, and like there's like a community that'll help you out too. So
yeah.
I kind of like fast and loose rules about it in case people want to ask questions on stuff. First, Google, then Google will like look on Reddit, then check the documentation.
Yeah.
Then try and first you should be trying to solve it yourself, right? So this is like try and solve it yourself, try and like figure out like what's going on, then check Google, then check the documentation, then maybe check like a large language model at this point, right? Then after like those like 4 or 5 other things, then like you go to the community and be like, hey, this is kind of my problem, this is what I'm having, like, and knowing how to ask the questions too, like maybe look at like how other people are phrasing their questions and be specific, show like your example, show your code, share exactly what's happening if it's reproducible.
The hard part about community and everything is when I used to dabble in Construct too quite a bit, and Sir Sol is participated in the community a lot more than I did. I think I've posted 2 or 3 times just in years, right? Ever.
Yeah.
And he posted constantly. He was very helpful for it. A lot of his code is still being used in construct projects that for his example code and whatnot. But
He's the Google
the
answer,
problem
dude.
with
How do I
doing
do
it
this?
in community, like participating in the community like that and other people, is a lot of these aspiring people just want you to make the game for them. Or they're like, can you just change this to do exactly this? And it's like, what the? No, I gave this to you as an example for you to build off of. So don't get in that cycle, you know. And I can't sound bitter, but I don't want to. I'm just saying, like, it's a learning tool for you to expand on, not for someone to make the game for you.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people who are just starting, and it's typically the younger crowd, unfortunately. And I was a part of that younger crowd, but I was also hubris. You know, it's like, no, I'm going to do that myself. You know, I'm not going to ask you to make it. So that kind of guided me.
A little bit of a mindset too. It's not just younger people, but maybe people who maybe are hobbyists or like the idea of maybe being a game dev, but like don't really realize like how difficult it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I watched like this video. It was a guy who made a PlayStation 1 into a PlayStation crab, like he 3D printed out like a crab shell for it. And like it was like based on like concept art that like other people had created. And in the video though, he mentions exactly kind of what you're saying. He's like, he's like, I guess I could ask like these people for like their files for like how they made this concept art, but don't do that. Don't go up to an artist. Don't ask them for like their artwork. Be like, hey, could you please just give me your artwork that you worked really hard on for free? Thanks.
I told you famously, well, let me do this here. So I've been just with my limited time outside of just doing stuff in Game Maker, Sir Solis has been working on music and learning music theory and all that. And he's been producing bangers of tracks using an online sequencer called Beatbox. Beatbox.co, I believe, is the website. And you know, I've you know made all of my music for like my streams and things like that. I've made all of that. And a while back, when I first released my current stream theme, someone tried to copyright flag my stuff on YouTube, which is why I don't stream to YouTube or do anything to YouTube on my streaming side because of that. I remember going, what the hell? I made this song, right? And I streamed myself making the song. So, you know, I responded to the copyright strike, showed YouTube like, okay, here's me making it. Here's the original file. Here's the timestamp for this. What the hell are they talking about? So I got the copyright strike removed. And it was just one of those bot companies from like South Africa or something just going, the copyright, so
trying to find people too lazy or afraid to fight things or don't have like the proof or trail of receipts, but
that all being said, what I wanted to mention is a tool that I probably got on a tangent, but what I've been doing is working on music in the game space again. So I've been enjoying using a sequencer. So that's been my latest thing of just using a sequencer to just make little beats and see how it goes, so we'll see if I use anything, but it's been fun. So real quick with the time we have left, is there anything that like a tool you've been using that's been helpful and that you really like using? And I know you're doing Rust, so you're using a framework, so you must have something external that has helped you along.
The online community for pixel art turned me on to Krita, the open source drawing tool. So you can go to the brush, and then on the right there's like a drop down to like pixel brush. You can set it to a grid. I like that. There is also like a filter. Then you go into modes, and then there's pixelate, or no, maybe it's like color. And then like you can like use a palette, so you can use like a game. Like I've been using like Game Boy Advance style palettes from like another thing where it's like a .ase file where it's like a color palette, and then and then there's like dithering and stuff, so you can make like some really cool pixel art really fast. Like this is a little ninja I sent you. I was like, boom, threw that together real quick. I was happy with that. It's a little clunky, and I'm so used to like Photoshop hotkeys and stuff still. So a lot of like weird muscle memory. I have the same problem with like switching between like Blender and like Unity or Unreal or anything. Like everybody has like their weird little quirks, and then it takes me like an hour or two to be like, all right, let me change up to what this is now. But I've been enjoying that. Blockbench as well. That was fun. But again, I think Blender's probably the superior tool. It's just very, beginner friendly, but also limiting, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I just don't like their animation thing. So if we're doing any serious animation, you're gonna have to export it anyway into something else. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Anything?
Awesome, man. Yeah, outside of Beatbox, I've been using Sprite, which every indie dev working on on a 2D game uses, and I've been enjoying that. It's a great tool, fantastic tool. You know, and that's really been
Have you
it.
tried the? Did you pay for it? There's an open source
A long time
version
ago.
of it as well.
A long
All
time
right.
ago, I paid for it, so
Somebody
I want to
made
support the devs
the
too.
community. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know,
so,
man.
you know.
I don't. From the Pixel community I've seen, they're just like, yeah, Ace Pride's a trap, dude. Just use like Photoshop or something else with filters, and you're gonna get there faster, better, stronger, dude.
Nah, Sprite's fun. It's good. It's good. It's the elitist Photoshop people who are saying it's a trap. It's like, yeah, you already have this Photoshop knowledge. Of course, like that's how I think about it. But yeah, man. No, so yeah, to end it, man, I gotta say, just keep creating. I'm happy you're getting stuff done. You're getting a nice little small project under your belt.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, I'm
I think I'm gonna switch it up to Unity, dude. I'm gonna support it.
Okay.
I think like just like. Do I want to spend like 2 weeks working on this small game, or do I want to spend like 3 days? You know?
Yeah. Do it, man. I'm happy to play it. Happy to support you any way I can, man. So yeah, and I'm gonna keep plugging away on my Game Maker project, and we'll update next week. Everybody who's out there, hobbyists, creating, keep doing it, man. We're all here for you. All right, share, subscribe. It's been the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm Mr. Gimpy. That's
Chipmunk.
We out of here. Take it easy.
Peace. Deuce.